I was going to tell you about a guitarist we had before. We had Daniel. He was working out in New York. He was about 40 years old. He was very, very buff, you know. He had tattoos and broken knuckles. He always hung out at Hogs and Heifers with the urban cowboys, and he was a messed up little monkey. He had spray on hair. He was about 40 years old. He had this like crew cut, and he was balding on top, but he had the stuff that he bought off the internet where he could spray it on the top of his head, and it would kind of look like the shadow of a buzz cut. And that was cool, except it got all over the back seat rest in the van and all over the pillows in the hotel room. Nobody wanted to sleep with him because he would get really, really drunk. He would go out every night after he got drunk looking for White Castle because he had this White Castle fetish. Then he would come home with like multiple bags of like fried clam strips and things like that, and he would proceed to eat them all. And then he would throw up multiple times, which was troublesome, and even to the extent that he would try to like plan his throwing up so that it would be more amusing to tell his friends back home. Like when we went to Dubuque, he made sure that he threw up so he could say that he puked in Dubuque. It was a troublesome. And then he would wake up the next morning and he would say he would blame it all on the clam strips more often than not, like as if he had not consumed an entire bottle of tequila with the clam strips. But what I want to tell you about is the time that his cat died, because we went out with him for a week and it was just amusing. But the second time we went out, his cat died, and he had the cat for like 18 years, and one way or another his cat dies and he goes absolutely freaking berserk. And over the course of the tour, he proceeds to melt down in the most retarded way I can imagine. He would get really, really high every night. He would get really, really drunk every night, and then he would be staggering around the stage like while we're trying to play our set, and he would be doing toast to his cat. And one he'd be this one's for Davey Ray, and then he'd proceed to like launch into a song that none of us had ever heard before, and we would have no idea how to follow him. One night he played an entire set, and he yelled at the sound man in between every song. He'd say, "Why is my damn guitar? I can't hear a damn thing. I can't hear nothing through the monitors. I'm not getting any guitar at all." And like it was true, you couldn't hear any guitar on the stage. And then we finished and we loaded off stage, and he yelled at the sound man in exactly the same tone of voice. "My goddamn guitar is not even plugged into the goddamn amplifier," as if that was the sound man's fault for some reason, not plugging his guitar into his amplifier. So I don't have a conclusion to this story. The story just kind of ended. Oh well, I guess I kind of do have a conclusion in as much as we wound up in like a pushing fight, and he split the next day, and we went off to Europe, and he ever after accused me of fabricating the entire incident and claimed never to have had a cat.